Good morning. It's Tuesday morning, March 19. Beautiful day outside. Really gorgeous. This morning, I was in 2 Kings, chapters 6 through 9. And the verse I wanted to share on was chapter 6, verse 17. Love this verse. O Lord, please open his eyes that he may see. So the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire around Elisha. What was happening here was Elijah and his servant, where they were living, the king wanted to destroy them. So he found out, the king of Assyria. So he found out where Elijah was living. The king figured, if I can get rid of the man of God that tells the leader of Israel what's going on and how to win the battles, then I've won Israel. Because he was confused. He kept thinking like, what is going on? How does Israel know what I'm doing? And so one of his servants said, oh, there's a man that can tell the leader of Israel what you were saying in your own bedroom at night. And this freaked the king out. So he said, go capture this guy. Where is he? They told him where he lived, and he said, go capture him. So he sent all his armies there. So when Elijah got up in the morning, he went outside and he looked and he saw all the king's armies out there. But he just went back into his home, calm, unafraid. And then his servant looked out there and he freaked out. And he came to Elisha and he said, what are we supposed to do? You know, we're going to get killed is what he's thinking. So Elisha, this is what he said. First he said to his servant, do not be afraid, for those who are with us are more than those who are with them. I'm sure the young man looked around and thought, what are you talking about? There's only two of us. There's probably thousands of them, maybe hundreds, but thousands. Whole army. What are you talking about? So Elisha, then he prayed, O Lord, please open his eyes that he may see. So the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire all around Elisha. So God opened his eyes, and his servant could see all these angelic beings, and all these chariots, and all these horses of fire. God's armies were outside. And Elijah and his servant had nothing to worry about. You know, the Lord, he still speaks to us. He gives us visions. He gives us dreams. He speaks to us. He speaks to our hearts and to our spirits if we'll but listen, if we'll spend time with him. Me and my wife have lived, well, we lived in Anza for about 7 years, but we've just now lived on this property about 2.5, parsonage. We have a parsonage at the church, Calvary Chapel High Country, and that's where we live. And when the house first was put up, but none of the landscaping was in. It's a rural area, so it was 2.5 acres. And it was just dirt. The first night we slept here. And during that evening, God gave me a vision. I wasn't asking for one. I was excited to live in this house. But God decided he wanted to show me something. And I saw all around the property. I can't even tell you how many. There was just campfires. I'd say every 20 feet from one another. All these campfires. And around each campfire, I saw angelic beings, just relaxed, sitting around the campfires. Some of you may hear me and not believe that, but I know I saw it. I know when God speaks to me. And God was just telling me, My angels are camped all around your property. Never worry. Many times, as me and my wife are praying, the last thing we do before we go to sleep, I think of that. There's no fear because God's here. He lives in us. He lives in our home. He lives around our home. But he gave me a picture of angelic beings all around our home. Now Elijah here, the Bible doesn't say, he went outside, but he didn't see the armies. It doesn't say that he saw them. He just by faith knew that God was with him. He believed it. He had seen God work so many miracles in his life and through his mentor, Elijah. He trusted God. So when he saw those armies outside, he had no fear. Then when his servant got up, his servant had the fear. Now Elisha didn't get on his case and go, don't you trust God? No. He simply said, Lord, open his eyes. He wanted the young man to see what he knew was there by faith. And God opened his eyes. For those who have walked with God for a while, we have learned to trust in many areas. Because God's been so good, not because we have this tremendous faith. The Bible says it's the faith size of a mustard seed. Many times that's about as big as my faith is. But it's placed in God himself, and he does the miraculous. I know that God can take care of me. I know God will provide. When I'm in his word and I see certain things, I go, oh, Lord. And sometimes it's in our human nature, we get frustrated that other people don't seem to believe how good God is. Instead of getting frustrated, instead of getting real testy in our preaching and our teaching, we just need to ask God, God, open their eyes. Let them see how good you are. Let them see your angels camped all around them. Let them see that you want to work in our lives. And in those areas where we have trouble, Lord, open our eyes. When I read this morning, I was so excited when I remembered that vision God gave me. And I just thought, Lord, and I thought, I've been thinking ever since I read it about the things where I need to grow, the things that trouble me. Oh Lord, and I've been praying and excited. Lord, open my eyes and I might see how good you are. Open my eyes, Lord, that I might see that you have the answer for every need I have. That you provide for every need, whether it be physical, financial, emotional, or spiritual, or psychological. He is the answer for every need I have. He is the answer for every need you have. Lord, open our eyes to the goodness of God. Open our eyes for the price that Jesus paid, that we might live free, rejoicing and living in him. We are such a blessed people that God would come and live among us and put on flesh and dwell among us and then give his life so that we could live in his presence. And today he lives with us and he surrounds us and he provides for us and he takes care of us. And he wants to fellowship with us. If we'll just take time aside and go to him and sit with him and with his word. He is always there. He wants to speak. And in those moments when he's quiet, Lord, let us see that you're just sitting there quietly with us because you enjoy our company. The same way when we have someone we dearly love, we don't always have to be talking. We just love being with them. And just so we can know that he is loved loves being with us. Lord, open our eyes to how much you care about us and love us. It will transform our lives. Thank you for listening to me today.